My housemate has just started practicing his guitar in the room underneath me, so if you can hear that, I apologise. This is what happens when you live in a student house. Hey guys, it's Alice again. Welcome to my final ever university update. Today, the 4th of May, is the day I have officially finished university forever. How weird is that? I know a lot of you guys have been following me right from the start, so it must be just as weird for you guys. I just can't believe how fast these 3 years have gone. I will leave the playlist with all my university videos here somewhere. I'll link it on screen and down below. Make sure you go and check those out. If you aren't subscribed, please make sure you do, because I am going into the freelance design and YouTube world. I'd love it if you joined the family. But today's video is all about kind of a summary of university. It's going to be pretty chatty, so grab yourself a cup of tea, hot chocolate, drink of water, whatever you like, and yeah, let's get going. Before we get into the video, I actually have a very exciting announcement, and I feel like I might be bigging this up too much, but I'm very excited, so I hope you guys can share the excitement. But basically, I am hosting a little picnic meetup on the 20th of May, which is a Sunday, from 1 PM until around 3. We'll see how it goes. Fingers crossed the weather is good. Basically, I'm just going to go to Lincoln Arboretum, which is up kind of near the castle area. I'll leave all the details down below, and we can all hang out, bring a picnic blanket, bring some snacks. I might even bring like a frisbee or like something so we can play games. I don't know, but basically I want to meet as many of you guys as I can. A lot of you have asked me right from first year if I can do a Lincoln meetup, and now is the time. So 20th of May is a Sunday. Again, the details will be down below. I've opened like an Eventbrite page with all the details on it. So if you'd like to go over there and if you want to come, just click yes with the tickets. Completely free. Obviously, I'm not going to charge you to sit in a park with me. I mean, I'm not that cool. I hope some of you guys show up. Fingers crossed it's not just me, Jade, Matty and Lena, because my pals are going to be there. You'll get to meet them too. But yeah, very excited. So let me know if you're coming, and hopefully the weather will last very well. So if you want to come and meet me, 20th of May is the day. Woo! Okay. Anyway, into the point of the video. So I've written all the things I want to talk about here, and I'm going to go through university in years, kind of, and I know this video is going to be super long, so yeah, sorry. So for those of you that don't know, I am studying, or have studied now, I can't say I am studying, I have studied media production at the University of Lincoln. I chose design for 3rd year, which is why I call myself a designer. I kind of tell people I studied design just because it's easy to explain, but my degree piece of paper, when I get it, if I get it, fingers crossed, will say media production 2018. And I've been at the uni for 3 years, and I've had 4 different living arrangements. I've had a lot of things, so we're just going to talk through it. So first year, to be honest, my decision to go to uni was super last minute. I decided about 2 weeks before university actually started. I went through clearing, kind of panic bought everything, and then I was at uni. Like, I didn't have much time to think about it. If you want me to do a video about that, I will, but yeah. So first year I lived in accommodation or halls. I actually lived in Pavilion House, which is about 5 minutes away from the uni. It's really, really close. What I really liked about Lincoln is the fact that even when even when the accommodation says it's not on campus, Lincoln is actually that small that it's all within 10 minutes away. So even if you're looking like online and thinking, oh my god, I want to stay on campus, you'll find that the ones off campus are actually usually nicer and aren't that much further away. So I really liked being in pavilions. We called it Pavs, and I was in block B2, I think, right in the back corner, and I had a shared flat, and there were 6 of us all together. There were 4 girls, 2 boys, and that didn't last too long. It was okay at first. I feel like the first 2 weeks of uni, you're kind of settling in. Everyone's kind of not themselves 100%. Like, I seemed like quite a party goer in the first 2 weeks, but obviously I am not. You guys know me well. I wanted to be for those first 2 weeks, and then as soon as I needed to knuckle down, I was ready for it. I'm kind of a grandma. So yeah, we got on relatively well for the first couple of months, and then loads of things happened. Drama happened. Like, that's something I will say does not ever leave. It definitely doesn't leave in university. I'm pretty sure it won't leave me in my adult life. drama happens, people fall out, people sleep with someone who they shouldn't have slept with, someone kisses someone who they shouldn't have done, like just lots of stuff happens at uni. And I think because everyone is kind of experiencing life differently and everyone's being put in this whole new situation, drama just happens. So to conclude my first year drama, I ended up moving out. I moved out on the 23rd of December, I think. So I'd spent 3 months in the shared flat. And on the 23rd of December, I was just done with the drama. I'm not going to go into it. What I am very happy to say about that now is that everyone who was in that flat, I am still friends with. One person in particular I'm really good friends with. The other ones I've not seen, but we're not enemies. I'd say hi, I'd sit and have a drink with them. So I think that's what's really nice about it. I feel like we've all kind of grown up together and kind of got past what had happened. Even if at the time, both myself and those guys didn't handle it very well, but I think now we've learnt from it. So basically, yeah, I moved into a studio flat from January until July. Obviously, uni only goes, for me, from January until May, so I was only actually studying that portion of time. I'm going to stop. So yeah, so my studio flat, I don't know what I'm talking about anymore. I'm going to go back to reading this. So what I've put for first year is it's tough. Living alone is super duper tough. It's definitely a big learning curve. Finding your feet is scary. Like the whole I'd say first 2 weeks are the scariest because everything's new and you got to go to your lectures for the first time, you've got to try on new seminars for the first time, you're meeting new people, you're trying new things. I think the first 2 weeks are kind of the most tough ones, especially because usually it's Freshers Week, you'll be feeling homesick, all that kind of stuff, but once you get past the 2 weeks, you kind of begin to settle into it. I remember saying it felt like I was on holiday, it didn't feel like I was going to live in Lincoln for the next 3 years, it just hadn't really sunk in. The accommodation in first year was definitely loud, like just bear that in mind. If you are a light sleeper, take some like earplugs or headphones or something. I regularly fell asleep with like big noise cancelling headphones on and a like eye mask because my flat in particular were pretty loud, and I was obviously the grandma of the flat, so yeah, I kind of prepared myself for that, which I'm glad I did. Luckily the actual accommodation itself, because we were right at the back, we didn't get too much kind of passing noise, but if you're in an accommodation that has kind of like people walking past it in the morning or at night, you'll usually get the drunken people screaming and singing at the top of their lungs. To be honest, at this point, I've kind of got used to it and I'm not as much of a light sleeper as I used to be. So don't fret too much about that because as annoying as it is, you do get used to it, and that still happens now. I live in a house, so yeah, you just kind of got to get used to that one. Even though the accommodation was loud, it did feel super, super safe. So we all had like key fobs and I felt safe knowing that we had security and that we weren't just chucked in and left alone. I did like the fact that I did halls first rather than just going straight into a house and doing like proper adulthood. So money is hard, that is for sure. Halls are typically super expensive compared to just staying in house. So generally everyone's skint. I was particularly skint because my loan didn't cover my accommodation, so my parents had to very, very kindly cover the rest of the bill, and then all the money I earned from my weekend job went towards kind of my life and my social life. Not that I had much of one anyway. So yeah, the money is tight and it's quite a shock to the system, and then you've got to realise that you need to buy toilet roll and like adult things that you probably never thought of before. But now I feel more prepared for that. It's still kind of crappy, but you know. So first year, the good things, it's liberating. It's really, really cool to kind of think, I'm an adult now, I don't need my parents. I still needed my parents. Like I took my washing home every weekend and my parents bought my food shopping. It's different for everyone. Some people go like full in, but I just didn't. I worked every weekend back in my hometown, so I saw them. So I got as much help from them as I could, otherwise I wouldn't have been able to handle it. And the course itself was really, really good. So for media production, you do like 6 subjects, I think. Can't do numbers. In first year, so you do TV, film, radio, photography, script, and design. So in first semester you do 3, second semester you do another 3, and then you do 2 kind of essay-based ones as well alongside them. It sounds like a lot, it is quite a lot. At the time I felt so overwhelmed, but now looking back I realised that I shouldn't have got so worried about it because like everyone said, first year doesn't count. You actually only need 40% to pass first year and to qualify to go up into second. So it doesn't like majorly count towards the whole grand scheme of things, but to me, as a bit of a class nerd, I wanted to get the very best. But I do kind of wish I'd have spent more time like going out and socialising. I was very kind of studious, but I had that much going on with work and all that kind of stuff. I do wish I'd gone out a little bit more, but that's just how it happened. That's just how I am. So yeah, definitely recommend going to a society or finding a little niche of friends if you can. Don't feel too pressured if you don't find friends straight away. Even all the way through first year, I wouldn't say I'd found like my solid friendship group. Like, it's only really these past 2 years that I've kind of had a proper group of friends, you know. I feel like I'm really rambling, so I apologise. So that's first year. Second year, I think the jump from first to second year was scary. Like, I think I was most scared about that one. I don't really know why. It seems like so long ago now. But suddenly knowing that it all of a sudden counts is terrifying. And for our course in particular, media production, you get to choose 2 subjects. So I chose design and digital media. I didn't say digital media the first time round, did I? I'll leave all the information down below. So I did design and digital media across the whole 6 months alongside 2 essay subjects like that. Gotta say, the essay ones were mind-numbing. For some reason, I managed to get the highest grades out of them all in the essay subjects. I guess I'm just really good at talking absolute nonsense in an essay, as you guys probably can imagine. So yeah, second year was intense, and because I had 2 subjects to juggle, 2 sets of deadlines to juggle, and all of a sudden these deadlines actually meant something, I think it was quite a lot. But I mean, I got through it and I'm really glad I did. So for second year, my housing situation, we got a new house. I moved in with 3 other people, so there were 4 of us all together. That house was lovely. It was done so nice. It wasn't your typical student house because it was like our friend's dad who owned it, so he'd done it up like extra nice. The only thing I didn't really like about that house was how far out it was from the centre. It was in like the less safe area of Lincoln. I mean, it's still a lovely area. Lincoln in general is really safe, but I think it was a bit too far out for me to feel completely comfortable. It was in Sinsel Bank area, if anyone wants to know. So it was kind of near the football stadium, and I just pretty much as soon as it got dark at night, I would not go out. And I think that's partly to do with my anxiety and partly to do with the fact that I was kind of struggling with friends. I wasn't 100% sure who was there for me and who wasn't. Again, that house drama happened. What a surprise. It doesn't get away from you at all. But again, I feel like we grew up a little bit more. We got better at dealing with it. We kind of dealt with it as a house. We had like actual physical face-to-face meetings rather than arguing over Messenger, you know. So as much as there is drama, you kind of learn to deal with it a little bit better. Although living in a house is weird and annoying because you've got to remember to take the bins out. There's a whole lot more responsibilities than there is in halls. Like, for example, in halls, when you take your bin bag out, they deal with it. They put it out on the road for the bin men to take. Whereas you've got to remember to do it in a house, and if you don't remember to do it, you're going to have an overflow of bins, which is what we had for a good month. We learnt our lesson. Money for me in second year was less of a worry because the rent was lower because of the homeowner being my friend's dad. So our rent was super cheap. It was actually about £30 cheaper than the general weekly rent thing in Lincoln. So that meant I had £30 a week extra for myself, which was amazing after first year being such a struggle with money. And also my loan went up in second year. Don't know why, but my loan went up a little bit. So I was okay for money, and I was obviously doing YouTube as well, which was like funding my little hobbies and actually having a bit of a social life. So that was also really good. So in second year, I did actually stop doing kind of my extracurricular things back in my hometown. I did martial arts 3 times a week, and I also worked both days of a weekend, and I had to stop that because it was just too much. So kind of bear that in mind when you get into second year. Don't put too much on yourself. Let yourself have some rest. Don't try and do too much because you will burn out. And I was getting super close to that. I actually kind of technically did burn out in December of second year. I actually got put on anxiety medicine because I think everything just built up that much. And I'm still on that medicine today. I'm going to start working myself off of that. But yeah, just bear it in mind. Don't pile the pressure on too much. Speak to people, because I am really bad for not telling anyone I'm stressed. And then it all just came out and I just had to admit defeat. So yeah, Second year was great. I met my boyfriend in second year. We're now not together, as you guys know, but I don't know how, but it just kind of worked. I never thought, and neither did my friends, think I'd ever have enough time to have a boyfriend. I always used to get asked, how do you fit it in? And I don't really know. I think the key is to stay organised, and if you want to do something, you will. So I obviously wanted to spend time with my boyfriend, so I made sure I had time. You just got to kind of plan in advance, and please don't leave your work until like 2 weeks before the deadline, because that is when meltdown mode happens. But overall, second year was actually really good. I liked not having 6 subjects to concentrate on. I did like having the 2. I feel like they were really intense. Part of me wants to think that second year was actually more intense than third, but then third involves a whole different bunch of things, so they're really, really hard to compare. A lot of you have asked me to compare the jump between each year, and they're really, really similar. I feel like as you progress, it gets a little bit tougher, but each time you've kind of learned a bit more, so it's easier to handle. Does that make any sense? Probably not. We're getting there, guys. So for third year, I've actually written, oh shit, this is it, the real deal. Everyone puts their heads down. So in third year, all of a sudden, everyone thinks, oh my God, this is the last year. So it's kind of a mixture between, right, we're actually going to get our work done. So those people who generally aren't that fussed, aren't that bothered, they will all of a sudden be like, let's get this done. But also, and I know this is true for me, people will start to realise that this is the last year you're ever going to get to experience this. So then you'll say yes to more things, which is what I did. So I've been out more this year than I think I have in the whole 3 years. I've done more things this year than I think I ever have. I've gone out more. I've said yes to more things. And I think that's come with both my confidence, because now I do have a solid group of friends who I trust and who love me for who I am, and me the same to them. So I know that I'm kind of stable in that friendship zone. I'm quite an introverted person sometimes, so it's nice to have like a group of friends who know who I am as a person. And that took me 3 years to get. So like I get a lot of messages asking how I made friends, and honestly, you can't really force it. It just kind of happens in time. And as long as you've got your family and even your hometown friends by your side, it'll all work out, because I have the bestest chums ever now and I love them a lot. They're like my family, which is really, really nice about friends at uni. They're like the strongest friendships you can ever like form, because you are like family. You all look out for each other in a way that you wouldn't have looked out for someone at school, you know? So I keep going off track so much. So it's bittersweet in third year, new house, new friends and new experiences, but you also know it's the last thing. So again, in third year, I got a new house. Drama, guess what, still happened. Drama happens every year, it seems, and I feel like that's just a walk of life. But again, I feel like this year it was handled so much better than it was in first year. I feel like, again, we've all learnt from our experiences, we've all kind of grown up a little bit, and it's all dealt with more maturely. There's inevitably gonna be drama, but we handled it better, I think. I hope. Money this year for me is a little worse, because my rent is now up to normal Lincoln prices, so it's gone up that £30, so I'm £30 short a week now, and also my loan went down, don't know why. I could ask student finance, it would be a waste of my time. The bin men are here. So yeah, money this year is a little bit tougher, but again, I have been working a lot harder on my YouTube channel, and somehow you make it work. I think after 2 years of kind of practice spending, when you have to learn how to budget, I feel like the budgeting skills really come into play this year. Oh my God, the bin men. I'm gonna have to wait now until they finish. I'm just gonna continue and I'll pause if the bin men decide to be really loud. Okay, back to the task at hand. Okay, I can't even remember what I was talking about. So at this point, third year was, I feel like it was still super stressful because of my dissertation, but I feel like it was I was kind of prepared for it in a way. I kind of knew to expect quite a lot. So for this year, I only took design, and then I had a dissertation, and then I had a group work. So I had technically 3 modules each semester, and the dissertation seems really daunting, and it actually is kind of a killer, but now it's completed, I kind of realised it didn't seem as intense as it was, and I think that's partly to do with the fact that I'm super organised, and I was already kind of at 5,000 words a few months ago. So when it became to be the deadline, I was pretty much sorted. Whereas I can't say the same for some of my friends. I know, I'm sure they won't mind me saying, Jade and Matty, they both left it right up until the deadline and only just got enough words to submit. Whereas for me, I'd got it done because I just cannot handle the stress levels that it takes to not be finished. So yeah, just kind of organisation is the key to less stress. I am definitely not going to say it wasn't stressful because I have never felt such a level of stress this year. But I think that's something to do with, again, the pressure I put on myself. The course and the tutors are, I think, so much better in third year. I've written down on my notes that the tutors are more like friends, they're approachable and laid back in third year because they've kind of got to know who you are as a person, and they all know that we're all going to be professionals soon going out into the real wide world. So my personal experience was that my tutors were really, really friendly and just like friends rather than tutors, which is nice. And the kind of workload is a lot, but it's more tailored. You get to kind of choose your own pathway rather than being kind of led. That's what it is for this course anyway. I don't know how it would be for anyone else's. I've written on here, still don't know how to use the printers. That's very true. For 3 years, I have avoided the printers at uni. What I don't understand is that we pay so much in fees and then also have to pay for print credits. But yeah, I didn't know how to print my dissertation because I have avoided the printers. They scare me. They're huge. They just look so complicated, but I got there. So don't worry. There'll always be There'll always be someone there to help you. And turns out I didn't need them as much as I thought. But what I will say about the print credits, we actually got given £5 in first year, £10 in second year and £20 in third year print credits, and I've still not used them. So I am going to print out a bunch of things before I leave so I get the most of the money that's still in my account. I think that's it. So I've written like self-motivation is super important. In terms of dissertation writing and meetings and lectures, you've got to like be so motivated to actually go and do it. And I think for me especially, my friends were a lot better at encouraging me to go to lessons rather than being like, oh, it's fine, don't go. Like this year we've all been kind of like backing each other up and kind of encouraging each other to do it. So that's been really nice. But yeah, overall third year I think was tough, but it's super rewarding. Like now, obviously today is the day when I've officially finished. And it all seems kind of weird. I'm now kind of lost for what to do. I feel like I should be doing work, but I've obviously all done it. So it's, as much as it's intense, I know I'm going to miss it. And I reckon in a couple of weeks, I'll be like, I miss going to lectures. And then someone just needs to like hit me around the face and remind me how stressful this year was. But like I said, super rewarding, definitely challenging in like all aspects of the word, like challenging physically, mentally, everything. It's challenging, but I'll tell you this, if I can get through it, my awkward ambivert self of like just winging it and hoping for the best, if I can get through it, you guys can. Just kind of follow my lead, I guess, and use that as motivation. Yeah, so in summary, I've written down, everyone is in the same situation, so don't worry. Especially in first year, everyone is as worried as you are. Literally just talk about it. Don't try and hide the fact that you're struggling. There'll be someone else out there that is also struggling and you can both relate to each other. And I think that's a good starter for a friendship too. I've also put the atmosphere goes in waves of crazy parties, confused, boring bits, and lots of stress, which is super true. So you're either going mad and going out all the time, you're all kind of just sat wondering what on earth you're doing with your life, or you're stressed to the max. I don't think there's any in-betweens, but it's all an experience, and I honestly wouldn't have changed it for the world. Even with all the drama involved and all the stress and all the money, I am a different person because of it. And I think especially because I've documented my YouTube journey on my videos, you can kind of see what changes have happened, even with the way I talk. When you go back and watch the videos I created in first year, you can literally see how shy I am, and now you just can't shut me up. I mean, I'm definitely still an ambivert and still incredibly awkward, but I'm just better at dealing with it, you know? I'm better at adulting. Still not a pro, never gonna be, but we can pretend. So I've got a few quick questions to end this video with. I'm so sorry, I know this video is gonna be like 25 minutes long by now, but Livy asked, messiest drunk memory. So, my messiest drunk memory was actually in third year. I drank too many mojitos. I love mojitos. I ended up throwing up in the bathroom. I then had a panic attack because I was throwing up, and I hysterically cried for about an hour because I missed my parents, and I forced my friend to ring my mum at 3 a.m. because I wouldn't stop crying. And I was flinging my legs around, and I booted the radiator and got a big bruise on my foot. Yep, that happened. Livy also asked, if you had to do a different course, what would you do? Now, I would answer right this second, if I was going to do another course, I would do graphic design. But if you'd have asked me that 3 years ago when I was thinking about university, I wouldn't have chosen graphic design. I think I needed a course like the one I'm on, or was on, so weird, that was kind of broad at the beginning and then slowly kind of tailored you into a particular topic, because I had no idea, which I think is why this course is so popular, because it's for those people who know they're creative but aren't quite sure which direction they want to go in, which was perfect for me. So graphic design, but I definitely still wouldn't have chosen that 3 years ago. No way. And Megan asks, describe your 3 years in 3 words. I actually wrote this answer down, and I actually said challenging, rewarding, and life-changing. And I know life-changing is kind of 2 words, but I'm cheating. So yeah, definitely challenging, amazingly rewarding, and so life-changing, honestly. Even though I'm kind of coming out of uni, still self-employed, still doing the things I want to do. I have more of a direction, I have a degree behind me, I have contacts, I have my lecturers and the friends that I've made. And if I hadn't have gone to uni, I'd still be stuck in my boring photography job that I absolutely hated, stuck in Doncaster with only 2 friends from uni. And now look at me, I've got friends all over the country. I have the confidence to go to business meetings. I have the confidence to reach out to people, getting a little bit better at networking, still awkward as ever, but I'm just good at kind of faking it. Fake it till you make it is what I say, because that's basically what everyone's doing in the adult world. And I've learnt that more and more as I've been at uni. So yeah, I don't really know how to end this video. I guess that's it. Let me know if you have any questions down below. I'll try my best to answer them all. So that's it. I am now finished uni. This is the end of my university updates videos. It won't be the end of university related videos, I promise. So let me know if you want to see anything from me, any tips, advice, anything like that. I'll definitely do that for you guys. Thank you so much if you followed me on this journey. My graduation is in September, so yeah, that's exciting and kind of scary. I'm shopping for my graduation dress right now. So yeah, thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you on Monday with a vlog. Bye! And don't forget to come to the meetup. Yee.